I Got the Hell Out does contain explicit content that might not be suitable for some listeners, such as children, those that easily get offended, and we do recommend that listeners at work put your earbuds in if you have coworkers around.
And if you like the show, please spread the word by telling as many people as you can. Would also appreciate if you would subscribe, rate, hopefully with 5 stars, and review the podcast on iTunes. You can find us there as well as on Stitcher and Overcast. You can follow us on Twitter at WasInACult, on Facebook at I Got the Hell Out, and on Instagram at I Got the Hell Out with an underscore after each word. You can contact us through our website at IGotTheHellOut.com.
Red button, Laura. Hi, this is Deb.
And it's Laura.
And Laura hit the white button instead of the red because
So
it's another episode of I Got the Hell Out.
Yep, I almost hit the button and we didn't record almost. So.
Well, that's okay because we learn from our mistakes. I think it's funnier than I'll Get Out.
That we wouldn't have had an episode?
No, that we caught it this time. I mean, come on. It's Sunday.
It is Sunday morning.
And
well,
it's
Sunday afternoon.
Well, yeah, it's still a no beer episode.
That's
I tried
true.
to make up for it last week.
That's true.
I tried. I really tried. And see, it should have been this week that I should have been able to have beer.
Why?
Because Tuesday's my birthday.
Oh, that's right. You pagan. Happy birthday.
Really.
Really.
I know. And see, you're going to take a picture of me before I leave.
Okay.
And we're going to... See, my son got a shitload of likes on his birthday picture.
Ah.
And they're all pagan. And we're going to throw a challenge out there to see if, like, both pictures can get a combination of 613 likes combined.
That's so funny. All right, so everyone, you got to like her birthday picture. We need
And my
613.
son's.
And your son.
Yeah. We'll see if we can get one or the other, combination of both up. I think it would be cool.
I think you can get 613 likes. Come on, people.
Well, we have over 800 members in the Facebook group. So, you know. Anyway, yeah, I walked in today and you handed me a bottle of Dr. Bronner's.
I know. I was so excited. I found it at the store last night. I was so excited.
And it's funny because I woke up this morning again and went, oh my God, I have a show to write. Which is really not a big deal because I like Sundays. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But, yeah, and one of the things was I was not able to find this stuff again.
See, there you go.
And, like, I so wanted to tell you that, like, my birthday was in 2 days, and yay, I got a birthday gift.
Dr. Bronner's, happy birthday.
And I was reading this bottle here, and it's okay to dilute it, okay?
Right, go, because remember we said it has, like, a weird label. I mean, I have never seen a label so jammed with crap on it.
I am going to have to further investigate it. But some people did contact me about this stuff, okay? And let's see. No, that isn't it. That isn't it.
So in case people were wondering what the hell, and they haven't listened to the past couple episodes, it's because you need to get the smell of grease out of your clothes.
Yeah, because I work in the kitchen.
Right.
And somebody suggested the Dr. Bronner's, and somebody mentioned the really weird religious writing all over it.
Yes.
Well, Jean C., she jumped in on the conversation last week, and she's from England. And she says the writing of anything remotely religious would be frowned on here in England, as everyone is afraid of upsetting other people's moral sensibilities.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, we're taught not to, like, talk about religion and politics, because, like, most people just argue. Mm-hmm. But don't you think we should teach our children to be able to talk comfortably and understand someone else's point of view?
Well, I was just going to say that it comes down to people don't want to listen to other people. Even if you disagree, you can still have a conversation and still disagree.
Right. Just because we don't have the same opinion on something doesn't mean I hate you.
Right.
It doesn't mean I think you're a lesser of a person.
Right. And it's like I don't think you're an idiot because you think differently than me.
And not everybody can have the same opinion on everything.
Well, how boring would this world be?
I'm telling you.
You know?
Exactly. And I got something else on this here.
On what? Dr. Bronner's or religion?
A couple things.
What? Well, with you, it could be anything.
Really?
Yeah, really.
I don't think so.
Oh, you pull stuff out of your ass all the time.
Do I? Do you think so?
You're like scrolling furiously and scrolling.
Well,
did you find it?
I did. Melissa W. She shared a link to the group about the weird label on the Dr. Bronner's, but I tried to click on it, but you have to like be like you have to sign up for something.
Ah,
So
well, you know what? Before you leave, I'll take a bunch of pictures of the different angles of the bottle, and we can post it on Facebook, and also I can do it on Instagram.
Well, I'll take the bottle with me because you've been lax on that stuff lately. So have I.
I'll get my
but-
crap together, and I will post.
Ooh, is that
Now-
like a sentence that says I'm getting my shit together?
I'll forget to take the pictures. What's going to happen?
My mom still has to post that picture of the contraband ice cream. And I keep reminding her.
See, I even forgot what the hell that was.
Well, when my youngest was born, her husband came to visit.
Now I remember.
And they took him out and they got him his very first Dairy Queen. And Tony took a picture of my mom in the back seat.
That's right.
And there's Jess like devouring
I wish they could have seen your face.
Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I just, it's good for everything.
Everything, what did it say? Like wash your dog, wash
One
your
squirt
floors?
applied to a wet washcloth to wash hands and face. You can use in your hair. You can use a hand wash, laundry. You can mop your floor with it. You can wash the dog. A dash in a bowl to remove residue from fruits and vegetables. All-purpose cleaner, and you can spray your plants for bugs with it.
What can you not do with Dr. Bronner's? I'm thinking you can do just about everything.
Do you think it cures anything?
According to the cult, I'm quite sure it does.
I don't know. Does the cult even know about this stuff?
They do now.
What's funny is when I was in Walmart looking for it, I asked a couple of people, and they looked at me, and the one lady's like, "Did you try the pharmacy, honey?"
Because it says Dr.
Because
Bronner's.
it says doctor.
Oh my God.
Because, if you add doctor to anything, automatically,
Just like little man does.
That's what I'm telling you. But I am going to enjoy this. So, yeah, I'm going to read through this and come back to that at some other point in time, if that's okay with you.
That's quite fine with me. Like it would make a difference.
Exactly. I'd just steamroll over you anyway. Let's see. I'd like to apologize to everybody for last week. I couldn't help but eating the milk duds. And you kept looking at me, Laura, and I kept thinking I was getting them out of the box so quietly.
I don't even remember this.
I was eating milk duds the entire time.
Oh.
And I really thought I was enunciating well and not chewing loudly.
You had a mouthful of caramel.
And I had a mouthful of delicious, gooey caramel. And, I always listen to the show from the week before while I'm writing this one in case I think of something else I need to say.
And you're just like chewing and chewing.
And I could hear myself and I'm like, man, you are such a cow. You are not allowed to eat while you're doing this. But I lied to myself thinking nobody could hear me. Do you know what I mean? And then
guess what?
That's a pretty damn powerful microphone is all I can tell you. And rattling the paper, because we should have probably taken the staples out of it and had it.
I know.
But we're not professional.
Eh.
We did our best.
Eh.
Exactly. We did our best. You know that?
Rattling papers, mouthful of milk duds. Yeah. You'll have it.
I guess that's just the way we roll.
It is. Totally is.
Last week, I read an email from Carrie L., who wrote a college paper on whether it should be religion or a terrorist group or whatever, right? Carrie, if there's any way that maybe we could get a copy of that, me and Laura were discussing it, and we would love to read it.
Oh, that would be awesome.
I'm technologically inept, so you'll have to get with Laura whether it gets sent in an email, a PDF, or you just don't want to share it. But there were a few other people that expressed interest in reading the paper also.
Oh, that would be fascinating.
Wouldn't it, though?
It really would be.
I try and collect everything I can from the cult. Do you know what I mean? There were quite a few years I stopped Googling just because I had to let my mind rest. But I started doing it again. And I found some interesting things.
That I'm sure you're going to share at some point.
I am. By the way, they have a couple of Facebook pages, and one of them, they have over 10,000 pictures in their archive.
Holy hell.
Yeah, most of the pictures are bullshit. It's just...
I was going to say, what do you even take pictures of to give you 10,000 pictures?
There are so many duplicates, just like It's Time to Pray, because it came out...
Geez.
It came out after I left that you like have to pray 3 times a day and you have to pray a certain way. Kind of like,
Like your hands can't be folded because we already went through that.
yeah. Anyway, this came after like I said, Obama's brother. I think his name is Malak.
Oh, well, he went over to visit. You
Right,
said.
right. And
Okay.
there are pictures of I have pictures of that and other people have pictures of, them
Oh,
standing up on stage together.
We got to get a picture of that. We can block out little man's face.
We can do that. But then again, I don't have permission to have him on there either. Do you know what I mean?
Shit, yeah.
So,
It's just better not to do
it's
it.
just better to just let things sit for a bit, you know what I mean?
Yep, I do.
Now I forget where I was going with that. Something about
They have a couple different Facebook pages.
Oh, yeah. And like I said, it's a lot of copies. Like, it's time to pray. So they must, like, somebody must be in charge of the Facebook page. And every day puts out there 3 times a day. It's time to pray.
Gotcha.
There's a lot of screenshots of Lil Man's books
Uh,
over and over and over and over and over again. Of course, there's Lil Man acting the ham. He's on like an old time telephone, holding it to his ear and talking into the mouthpiece. He must be at a museum or something, okay?
maybe he's back at the United Nations building.
I don't know, but it looks like a museum
my
of some
God.
sort. And it says, time to call upon God and cast your troubles aside,
Oh
or
my God.
something
Maybe
like
he was
that.
at one of those old-fashioned things. You know how, like, at amusement parks, you can go and get dressed up like an old-fashioned
I think
thing?
it was a whole wall of stuff. I'll show
my
you when we
God.
get off. Do you know what I mean?
How ridiculous.
There's a bunch of ridiculousness on there. So if you guys have figured out, who they are, they've got. I can't say 10,000 funnies to look at because there's so many
Right.
of them that are the same. And I was hoping to find the United Nations picture. I was hoping to find, but you can only sit and scroll
so many
through the
times.
same
Yeah.
shit. Now, if I could start at the other end of the camera roll, but
Right.
I don't know how to do that.
Well, even if they were different pictures, you know how long it would take to scroll through 10,000?
A lot.
Like, who has time for that?
A lot of people do. Anybody who can get to the end, like the end of, the lollipop, let me know.
Oh my God. Yeah, whoever wants to sit and scroll through 10,000 pictures, let us know.
Yes. And please take screenshots of, the ones that are unique and stuff. And if you have any questions, because I can probably tell you what the hell's going on in it.
Oh my God.
A friend of mine, when my son first left, she found a picture of him on their website and she captured it and sent it to me. But it must have been a work detail because he was all of 13 and it was a bunch of other boy children and they were all sitting around and you could tell that they had sack lunches.
Okay.
So, we don't do field trips out there. So, and the only field trip I can see the children taking is out to the fields to be a working.
Yep. Yeah, no field trip. It's a work trip.
But it was, I got to see him, even if it
Yeah,
was
aw.
just a picture.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a long time ago. But yeah, guys, go scrolling. Please let me know what you find. Please let me know. And off cult subject, do you see what I'm holding?
You're holding a milk cap.
Do you know why I'm holding a milk cap?
I have no idea. I've been sitting here watching you hold that, wondering what the hell is she doing?
Okay.
Is it special to you?
In a way it is.
Oh, God.
This pissed me off so freaking bad this week.
Why?
Have you noticed that they no longer sell sodas in 12-ounce bottles and cans? They're 7.5 ounces.
Now, why would I know this?
I don't know. You shop at a grocery store, don't you?
I don't really drink soda, though. And even if, I don't look at sizes of anything.
Okay, now sugar used to come in a 5-pound sack.
Okay.
Now it comes in 4.
Okay.
Flour, same deal.
Okay.
Coffee has been going downward. Like, it used to have 190 cups in it. I think it's down to like 140 cups. They try and keep it the same price.
Same price, but less.
Yeah, less product.
Right.
And you're not supposed to notice. Okay?
Okay.
So I didn't feel like making my run to West Virginia. Anyway, I stopped at Shop and Save to grab a few groceries and...
Groceries.
Yeah, it's Pittsburgh. Anyway, for Snowmageddon, remember?
That's right.
And
Your
grab-
milk, your toilet paper, your bread.
and beer.
In beer.
But you gotta go to the beer distributor for beer here.
Because we're in Pennsylvania.
Exactly, we suck. Anyway, I saw these sheets of paper in the glass, and it said $2.76 for milk, and I was like, see, I didn't say how much milk.
Oh, it just said milk.
Milk. Well,
Okay.
I didn't actually, in retrospect, think. I figured a gallon of milk, right?
Okay.
Grab 2 gallons and stick them in the cart, and I get home a couple days later, and I see this big white-ass sticker on the top of the red
Oh my
cap.
God, how much was it?
Okay. And it says new. Okay. And it's called the Tweener. Tweener. Who in marketing is getting paid to call milk a tweener?
I don't know.
Do you know how many ounces are in a gallon, Laura?
I should know this.
You should know this.
I know I should know
This is
this.
like basic third grade
it
math.
is.
Or less.
How many ounces are in a gallon?
Yeah.
I'm like having total brain fart.
128.
Okay.
Okay. Now, I paid $2.67 in West Virginia for a gallon of milk.
You paid double here.
Well, this 96-ounce tweener
Okay.
was the same price. So they basically got me for a gallon and a half of milk for $6. Yeah. That sucks.
I guess you're going back to West Virginia.
Tomorrow, baby. Everything's cheaper in West by God, Virginia. Their roads suck, though. Though we're not going to talk about West Virginia roads.
All right. Well, now that we talked about milk for 10 minutes.
We have to talk about Kool-Aid.
Okay, what about it? What's the recipe?
It is called Think Spring, Think Green.
Ooh.
Because it's like 2 degrees outside.
Yeah, I know. So is it like lime Kool-Aid?
It's lime Kool-Aid.
Okay.
And it calls for ginger ale, but I'd probably rather use Sprite.
Okay, either one really would probably be good.
Frozen limeade or lemonade, depending on how green you want it.
Ooh.
Okay. Do not dilute that.
Okay.
And then fruit juice. They suggest pineapple, but it makes my tongue feel funny, so I suggest apple or lime juice.
The pineapple for me would actually, that sounds pretty good.
And then you can, garnish or not. You got time for it.
I was just going to say, if you have time to garnish. If not.
Green fruits, apples, kiwis, anything green.
That's like a good spring drink.
I think it would be pretty good right now. It's darn cold out there.
Did you mention alcohol? I don't think you mentioned alcohol. Yeah, pop some vodka in there.
I did not.
Well, what the hell?
I think I came up with this before coffee. Oops.
I'm like, what the hell kind of drink's that?
A kitty drink.
All right, guys, just pop some vodka in there and we're good.
I can't believe I actually looked this one up, and I guess it was before coffee, and all I kept thinking was coffee. And I got up to get my coffee, and I came back.
Because I was waiting for the rum or the vodka, and I'm like, I don't hear anything.
It had a bunch of good stuff in it.
It does. Throw some vodka, it's even better.
No, it had something better than vodka, and one of the ingredients I didn't even know what it was. Oh my gosh. Anyway, yeah, it's one of them mornings. Here, I'm officially giving you the 96-ounce cap.
The tweener cap.
Who the hell came up with that?
Someone that gets paid a lot more than I do, probably.
That's just so sad. I want to be a meteorologist. They get paid whether they're right or not. Okay, now, we talked about that stupid-ass prayer cloth last week.
Oh, that little tiny... You talking about that little tiny piece?
It's not even as big as a penny. A penny, it would not cover a penny.
Right,
Okay.
It's the little tiny piece that they would give to women, correct?
Yes, but the
Okay.
comments on the thread on here, and most of the comments are from ex-cult members.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Does not cure stupid people.
Not much can.
Little cloth for a little man. Wow, I pictured something much larger. She says, I had a weird thought, more of a loincloth.
Oh, God, little man's loincloth. Oh! Ew!
I'm going to need mind bleach after that, Laura.
Little man's loincloth.
Oh,
That's
my
so
God.
Gross.
Anyway.
Picture it in that pimp orange or the pimp yellow.
Oh, my God. Somebody told me probably has some kind of evil attachment. I'd burn that thing before your house becomes haunted. And he also said, because I says, do you think it still has its magic qualities?
The magic in quotes.
The magic is in quotes, and he says, totally. It's all magic. I hope every time you are sick, you rub it on your forehead. And I had to tell him, Brandon, it's actually never been out, nor will it ever be out of the package, because I get the heebie-jeebies just looking at it, okay?
Oh my God.
A said, don't forget the holy oil. I told you they anointed it with holy oil, but you
Right.
can't tell. So is there really holy oil on it?
I guess you just gotta believe there is.
It's so tiny. An ex-member, she remembers being 7 or 8, and she went into seizures, and her parents called the local elder to lay hands
Oh
on
God,
her.
and I'm sure this cloth helped with seizures.
I don't know, but she woke up in the hospital. At least, her parents took her
to
to
a
the
damn
hospital.
Right.
And the 6 month of I can't read the whole thing, but she says that the next 6 months of life was rough. Her parents actually thought that the prayers helped because I didn't die. Like, really? Now looking back, I just feel it was just bullshit. I hate that I can't even let myself believe in religion and God because I feel it's all a bullshit trap. And Laura, there's a shit ton of us that are like, people ask me, why can't you believe in God anymore? And it's like, what do you have to lose? Just believe.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it's just like being a kid and finding out that Santa Claus doesn't exist. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You can't go back to that security blanket because boom, your bubbles burst. And it's not like that for everybody that's left. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Anyway, back to the thread. Sarcastically, oh, I need one. Another member, never liked these, very impersonal.
Personal, okay.
Someone says, I'm a Catholic and I am offended by this flim flam man. He's the flim flam man now. My friend Sherry, she chimed in. I totally forgot that you were. Oh no, she told me. She says, "Oh my God, I totally forgot about it, but I do remember the instructions. Burn it after use." And Laura, I totally forgot. You were supposed
they weren't
to burn
reusable.
it. No.
Oh.
One sickness, one shot.
Oh.
And when you burnt it, okay.
Was there a special ceremony or something?
Like I said, I totally forgot. Like I told you, you were supposed to pray and do your ablution while you're dying of seizure and fevers.
Of course.
Of course, I think her parents might have done the ceremony part for her while she lay
and
there
she's
seizing.
still seizing because,
right.
hello. Yeah.
But when you burned it, the smoke was supposed to lift up to the heavens and God would smell your prayers, hear your prayers. I don't know.
This is the first time I've heard that God smells your prayers.
Well, how else is he going to know? He's going to smell that little bit of burnt cloth coming up.
Oh my God. He's probably going, what the hell's this stench?
Lord, it's not even as big as a penny. How much smoke can it make?
Oh my God.
And what happens if an unfortunate person next to you actually goes to sneeze and inhales that whole little tiny puff? It'll never get to God.
And God won't smell your prayers. That is a new one for me, man. And I went to Catholic school for 10 years, and never once did I learn that God smells prayers.
I don't know.
That's beautiful.
But it's incense to God to let instead of the elders releasing it, it's being released from the claw. I don't know, Laura. I'm not there anymore.
That's so funny.
I still think you need to go undercover. We'll give you a whole new name, identity. You could be escaping from, we could give you a whole new persona.
I wouldn't last 2 minutes. I'd laugh so hard. I'd see Little Man, and all I'd think of was dangly balls, and I would just lose it.
Would you ask to use his toilet? Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, moving on. I don't know. I guess we're done with that.
Okay, what else do you have?
I'm not sure. What do you have?
I have an article here, which I don't know if you read some of this at one point or not, but it was in the newspaper. Doesn't say, you just have it cut out, so it doesn't say the name of the newspaper, but it's from April of 97.
Yes. That's
And
when we started hitting the news a lot. Between, I'd say, 96 and 2001, there are so many articles.
okay, so this one is, let me see. Okay, the title is Neighbors Prepared for the Cults Festival.
Yes.
Okay. It says no trespassing signs are tacked to trees, security cameras are mounted on poles, and dogs are tied in their yards. A week-long festival is about to begin at the cult, and neighbors are ready. We're prisoners in our own land, says Sherry R., who, along with a number of other members, is shoring up for the 8-day feast of unleavened bread, or Passover, at the religious compound. Let's see here. It's one of 3 major feast days for the cult followers, and it attracts up to 1,000 people from across the United States and Canada to a 40-acre plot that some derisively refer to as the House of Little Man.
Yep.
That sound about right?
Yeah.
Okay. Founder Little Man, formerly known as Buffalo Bill, when he was a policeman, burst into the limelight a little over a year ago when suddenly more than 100 of his adherents changed their last names to match his.
Yeah, that was a big fiasco.
And it says that number has now risen to 250.
Oh, yeah. It's been more than that. I mean, my oldest son was actually, he had the name on his birth certificate before me and my ex changed our names. Because you can name your kid anything you want.
Right. But apparently, if it's Buffalo Bill, apparently you can name your kid whatever the hell you want.
Well, yeah. I don't think you can name them a swear word and stuff, but I don't know.
I don't know. You're looking at me like I know.
Anyway, read on.
Okay. It says, phone calls from worried family members nationwide have come to, the Reporter News, since it published a series of articles last year about the sect. The group has since been written about in numerous publications and featured in television programs.
Yes.
Let's see here. 2 weeks ago, a Jackson, Michigan newspaper devoted most of its Sunday front page to stories about a 40-member group that meets there in the home of a surgeon. At least one of its members is planning to come to the cult this week for the festival. Last month, when 39 members of a California cult called Heaven's Gate committed suicide, interest in the local sect intensified. Following that mass suicide, Newsweek magazine published an article on 8 groups in the United States that are described as living on the religious fringe.
I read that one too.
You read that one. I was just going to say that. Let's see, where are we here? Okay, there's a bunch of other stuff that's not very interesting. Okay, so the intersection, they named the intersection of where, I guess, the cult is. The intersection, quote, looks like a tornado hit it, said Stan L., who lives nearby. The property is littered with ramshackle trailer houses, tents, piles of wooden pallets, and trash.
Yep.
People like Stan and Robinson, whoever that is, have to drive by it every day to get to their property. Land they purchased thinking that they had found peace and quiet in the countryside. But with the cult rapidly expanding, they have to wonder. I probably won't stay here, Robinson said. She had planned to build a house on her property somewhere where a mobile home now sits, but she's changed her mind. Our friends won't even come out to visit here, she said. There's no sense in investing all of that money.
Yeah, and Little Man, he, for years, has been buying up the land around the cult because nobody else wants it. I mean, do you want to be living next door to a cult, Laura?
Hell no.
And would you not find it scary, like, if you actually had land on the perimeter and you saw the Shaw Marine walking around with, weapons and stuff? Would it frighten you?
I would not want to be there.
Go ahead.
I would not want to be there. Okay. Last year, Lehman and others were complaining that the road leading to their homes and to the compound was constantly filled with huge potholes because of bearing more traffic than it was designed for.
Oh, hell yeah. That road was always full of potholes. I think it's paved now. Somebody told me it was paved
It
now.
says since it's a private road, the county wouldn't fix it.
I'll have to look into that one, but somebody told me that was paved now.
Okay.
So,
Let's see here. Life is relatively quiet around the compound, he says, except for the festival weeks. But he and other neighbors worry about the group's expansion.
they don't have to worry about that anymore because they quit expanding because of all the craziness, Laura.
Oh, like physically, they're not expanding.
Physically, little man is probably buying up everything he possibly can. But from what I hear, would you join the craziness at this point?
No.
If your husband came home and said, "Here, honey, here's what you wear to services now," what would you do?
No way.
I mean, it's way different than it was because we lived where there was an elder in his family. And there were a few other people in the area that were interested, and they'd actually have services at their home. I still talk to their son. Hi, Gare, how you doing, dude? But yeah, they just were everywhere, and we ended up moving there. I don't know if they ever did. I don't remember. But like there were groups that would have these meetings all over the United States and wherever they were.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And we would listen to the weeks before sermon tape because that was before the internet stuff.
Oh, okay.
Because now you can listen live. I suggest you do that someday, Laura.
I suggest I don't.
I suggest you listen this week for homework, that you listen to their latest sermon, and we will report on what they are teaching.
I thought I was going to listen to the tapes.
You were
I'm listening. No, I'm listening to some X-rated tapes for next week's episode.
That's right. And you told me you might do that. They're disturbing, aren't they?
I haven't started, but the labels with the titles are very disturbing. Yes, just the title alone.
And if you notice, it's and it's pedophile elder that speaks before little man on every one of them. Yeah.
Okay, I just got even creeped out more.
So plan on you having an hour and a half of creeped out time.
And like an hour and a half for a hot shower afterwards. Like, get all that scudge off.
How do you, like when the creepy man
Bleach out
touches
my
you
eardrums.
and you go home and you want to like wash it off of you and it just doesn't seem to come off in the shower?
Ugh.
Look at that.
Ugh. I'm going to have a big ass glass of wine while I'm listening to this. Let me tell you what.
I feel bad for Carrie, who had to listen to I don't know how many hours of his sermons to get her paper correct.
Oh, God.
Because, I mean, that's years of sermons. I mean, what ones do you listen to? Or do you just pick a few?
Probably just, I don't know, just pick a few. I mean, bullshit's bullshit, right?
You would think so. I mean, they had filler sermons that was just regular shit. Like you would go to church and your pastor would be talking to you about what heaven's like and how to get there and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, nothing real earth-shattering.
Right. I mean, there wasn't something earth-shattering every freaking week, you know?
But when the good ones came up.
Yeah, they always worked crap into it and stuff. I wish I had some of the books so you could read some of the books. You know, like the Holocaust. Why did it happen?
I think we might have that down there in the propaganda box.
Yeah.
I think we do. We'll have to look for it.
Satan has been trying to kill him off since the beginning of time and has been unsuccessful.
Has been trying to kill who? Hitler?
Little man.
Oh, you're talking about Holocaust. I'm like, what are you talking about?
The Holocaust happened because of little man. Satan was trying to kill off little man's generations before him so he would never be thought of or born.
Oh, on that funky timeline.
I'm supposing. But yeah, he claims the Holocaust happened because of him. Because Satan's still trying to get him because he's spreading the word.
Huh.
Yeah. It's all about little man.
Everything's about little man. That's weird that it's not in any school books anywhere.
I don't know, but you can go online and find the book.
Oh, I bet the cult has their own version of the book.
It's his book. He wrote it.
Oh, my God.
Little man wrote a book all about the Holocaust happened to try and kill off his ancestors so he would not be born. See, Satan's still trying to win. It says so in your Bible. Satan's got what, 2,000 years on this earth to try and make everybody horrible.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it all comes down to little man.
Apparently so.
Oh my God. Well, what I'm going to do with the X-rated tapes is like how you made that little thing about how many times they say a word. I'm going to do that as well. So I can tell people that he said, dick this many times and said whatever this many times.
Oh.
All in a church sermon. All in a religious, I'm so holy. I'm so blah, blah, blah.
I think the first shocking sentence, which there were so many of them, but when little man, because see, it was X-rated, so the men saw it first, and we got the woohoo, watch it, like how you get all excited when you come into school, and there's the TV.
Back in the old days,
there's
yes.
the TV,
yes.
the media stations wheeled into your room,
yes,
and
you're
like,
just all excited because all you have to do is watch a damn movie.
All you gotta do is watch something. So, yeah, because when little man was up on the screen, the women, you had your hardcores that would sit there scribbling notes and shh. But the rest of us were like eyeballing the screen and basically talking, going, what the hell is going on? Type deal. You know what I mean? And.
Well, it also said in these tapes, do not listen to in mixed company.
Yeah. Now, you and your husband could listen to it.
Okay.
Or you and your sister.
Okay, but not...
Or you and your daughter, but not you and your son.
No, brother. Okay.
You could listen to it with your husband's second and third and fourth wife.
Oh, well, you could do everything with a second and third and fourth wife.
Well, technically, yes, but that was stuff that was just kept hush-hush. What?
Nothing.
Well, it says, in the Bible that a man's family is his, and anyway, there were several women who brought it up to their counselors, like, we're in the same family, we're not going to spread diseases, why can't me and her sleep together? He's off helping her, and me and her want to get it on. And it was a hush-hush thing, but yeah, it was loud. But the man could not watch or join in.
Oh, alrighty then.
But I did find out that there was a real pervy elder, one that I haven't even brought up yet.
Oh, there was, huh? Oh, God, one you haven't brought up yet.
There was
Oh, Lord.
I didn't know this elder very well. And I ended up becoming real good friends with one of his wives that escaped. And she told me how pervy he was. He encouraged her and the second wife to get into bed together. And, you want to please your husband.
So you do whatever he says.
Right. And she didn't really like it, but then when he'd come into the bedroom, she'd flip out and jump out of bed. And it just, yeah, pervy elder.
Oh, God, like there wasn't enough.
And an elder's wife had other elders' wives as the counselors.
Oh, my God. Okay.
So when you go to your female counselors who are also elders' wives, and you're telling them that your pervy husband is telling you basically that the second wife, you have to get in bed with the second wife because the second wife doesn't want to go out and sin and you're part of the family. So, the elder made it all like she's being submissive. She's doing what her husband asks of her to keep her family.
Which is her job, to be submissive.
To keep her family pure and clean and whole. And no, it's not something she wanted to do. But then when the husband walks into the room, that's breaking the rules. He's not supposed to be there. And wanting to join in is even breaking the rules more. Okay. So, but when you go to your counselors, they have to get back to you because they got to go to their husbands. And of course, it's a big, here we go with the quotes, club. Mm-hmm. And you're basically told, you're not the one sinning. Just keep listening to your husband and God will bless you. And it's not your fault that he's breaking the rules. And she's like, well, what do I do when he jumps in bed with us and won't let me out of the bed? And again, you're not sinning. You're not the one that has to atone for this. Just don't like it.
But still do it. Oh, my God.
Yeah. The rules change on who you are and who your husband is. I mean,
I'm sure they do.
it's just like the hierarchy here. I mean, look around. Who gets away with what and who does time in jail?
Right.
That's all I have to say on that one. Gosh, 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 gosh. Okay, we talked about the X-rated tape. So you're going to do your homework,
I am. I am going to listen to the X-rated tapes.
You're going to listen to them.
I'm going to listen. Well, there's a bunch of different categories. So I'm going to listen to at least one of the categories, and that will be the topic.
They're all different.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So I'm going to pick one.
Please be prepared. And I'm sorry, audience out there. This is why we give the disclaimer. Again, the words came out of his mouth something to the effect of, when you stick your dick in that whore's gutter of a slut box and your dick comes out dripping with all the diseases of the world, you have no one to blame but yourself because you chose to sin.
I am going to vomit.
Wait till you hear it in little man's actual voice.
Oh my God. I'm going to need 2 bottles of wine. I'm going to be so hungover the next day for work after listening to these tapes.
What's really sad is an ex-member, I had the screenshots on my old phone, and I can transfer them to this one, but, you know, the books of Little Man are all his sermons.
Okay? Right, okay.
And she actually sent me the table of contents page of one of them, okay? And when you read down the table of contents page, there's at least 14 of them in one book that proclaims that this is an X-rated sermon and it should not be studied or listened to in mixed company.
I'm just loving how the whole, you know, I am basically God, but these are X-rated tapes.
Because you can say whatever you want when you're God.
Oh my God.
You don't know that?
Apparently I don't.
You know, I'm really torn between, you know, exposing, you know, religion and what it really is and forming my own freaking cult. I would be so good at it.
Oh my God, like you wouldn't be back in another cult.
But I would be running it. It would be a happy cult.
It's a little man, be little woman.
No, I would be big woman. But which that's funny because I'm tiny.
So, little woman.
No, I'd be big woman. But see, my cult would be fun, and it would involve a lot of happiness and singing and dancing and
Kumbaya.
No, I'm not privy to that, but kindness and gummy bears and rainbow or unicorns farting rainbow glitter and come on.
Now, if you can find one of those, I'll join.
I can slip you something that'll make you see that. You be in a heartbeat. Are you in?
Oh my God. I should have seen that coming.
We never see what the other person has. I'm telling you. But yeah, here, you want some good laughs? Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
This is one of their booklet covers that I don't have, and it's called Unveiling Satan, Her True Identity Revealed. And there's their book cover.
Oh, we need to post that.
And I'm supposing Eve is Satan.
Of course.
Because the snake's a man.
Huh?
The snake's a man.
But evil's always a woman. So, right?
Okay, now he must have been visiting like I said, it must have been radios, forms of communication. Because these are screenshots that I captured from their website, okay? Now, tune in. God is on your stereo, 88.9. Look at the old stereo. Okay, now, I just captured this one because somebody told me, and I'm not quite understanding it, but somehow you turn the Bible into numbers and you add stuff up and it equals stuff.
You know what? I've heard of that before.
Okay, they took the laws of God and they did this 3 different ways. And I don't understand the calculations.
Oh, dear God. That's like way past algebra, way past...
But they're turning something into numbers and it's supposed to equal something. I don't know.
And why would they even do that?
I don't know, but all these people keep sending me stuff about different cults that I get to look at and
Okay,
stuff.
right.
I have no idea what is going on in this picture, but the floor is purple. There's tables set up, okay? And there appears to be a really long board that has holes punched in it.
Mm-hmm.
And they filled some of the holes in to read simply "The Gathering" in purple. Isn't that creepy?
Ooh.
The
Ew,
Gathering.
That's really creepy.
Why is the floor purple?
It's like a purple carpet.
Probably wouldn't spring for carpet. It's probably freaking paint on concrete. Seriously.
Bunch of spray paint.
Hey, look, you can watch services live every seventh day at 9 a.m. Central Time.
Oh, God.
You get to do that this week.
I'm going to stick to the tapes.
You can't handle the live shit.
Oh, my God. Well, no, after we do the tapes, then I'll watch one of the live ones.
Now, remember I said they at least 3 times a day put these things out?
Yes.
Time for prayer. Be sure to ask for your daily needs. And ask is in real big letters. Like, you're supposed to ask God for your food because there's a big stack of pancakes
I was just going to say,
and milk.
There's a stack of pancakes with a bunch of blueberries
And
on
milk.
it. And milk.
So you're supposed to ask God for what you need every day.
Alrighty.
Okay. Don't you think God would be more proud of you if you, like, helped yourself as much as you could?
Or use the brain he gave you, maybe.
Apparently they came out with another book, Laura.
Do tell.
Did Jesus pre-exist? Oh, look at the face you're making. And look, it's got the Egyptian shit on it.
I was going to say, they have all kind of Egyptian stuff. Was that the
That's an
Ankh?
Ankh. Ankh.
Yeah.
A-N.
A-N-K-H, I think.
Yeah, something. It's a form of the cross.
Oh, my God.
Before the cross. So, they're suggesting that Jesus pre-existed. Oh, maybe little man met him in the past.
On the timeline.
Maybe it was Cleopatra's, sidekick.
I'm sure he claims to have been there with Cleopatra. I'm sure there's a story.
You're going to like this one, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And this was February 10th of 18. So this was less than a year ago.
Okay.
Do you know what the message is?
What is it?
Learn to be obedient. Overseer, little man.
Oh, my God.
And that just goes out to everybody. So there must be something going on that people aren't being obedient out there.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Some
He has to, like, call
unrest.
them out. Yeah.
There is unrest in the forest. Yeah. The creatures all have fled. Anyway, love Rush.
I was just going to say that, Rush.
Yeah, the trees. I love that song. Rush, the trees. Okay, now, I was reluctant to bring this out last week, okay?
Okay.
But we've just given so many little pieces and tidbits here and there that you have to be, I hate to say brain dead to not know who the cult is.
Okay.
But remember we talked last week about him and his friend in Ebelin, Israel. Abelin.
Yes.
Abelin.
Okay.
Because that's Hebrew.
Okay.
Okay. Now, they have a really big ass billboard that's always been there. And it was this really shitty, shabby, nasty ass blue that just basically said, "The house of God welcomes you," with a big exclamation point, an arrow pointing that way, and the time the services was.
Okay.
Okay. Sabbath services, Saturday, blah, 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 right? They literally have replaced it with this billboard, and I have seen this billboard. And look, they must have bought the corner lot because it has cows on it.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay, it says, blah, 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 welcomes you home to Abel, A-B-E-L. Okay?
Because they're taking, like...
Abel, Cain and Abel.
Oh,
Okay?
geez. Okay.
Now, Abel was the first righteous, and he killed his brother Cain, right? That's a whole nother...
Oh, right.
We ain't getting into that anyway. Because in Cultiville... Anyway, that'll be a whole nother thing. But Abel was righteous, right? Now, Ablin, Israel was named after righteous Abel. Okay, and that's the Holy Land, right? Now, where the cult is based is sort of a spelling like this, ain't
Right,
it?
right.
And yeah, that's why he said it. And it actually even has Ablin and arrows pointing towards where the cult is. Okay. Because this is one of the things that he has prophesied that he would, he's one of the two witnesses. So he would be in the promised land. Well, the promised land is over in Israel.
Right.
And he's just grabbing at whatever he can to try and make it. Yeah. Oh, and look, they have a 10-year-old quoting him on this one. I grabbed it for the screenshot. Because remember, they have kids in sermons and stuff as early as possible now, right?
Right.
This is the house of God that's going to complete the total plan of God.
That's from a 10-year-old?
Well, Noah, he was quoting the overseer little man back on 5:26 of 18. I don't know.
You should be playing outside. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
Okay, I liked this one. They purposely have a baby in a library, okay? Can't find the answers? Search and study publications by Little Man at asklittleman.com.
Oh my God. And this little toddler's taking a book off the shelf.
Yeah, because he can read it. And you're a baby, Laura. You know nothing of scripture. So you need to ask Little Man.
Asklittleman.com. That's awesome.
Okie doke. Now, this one has to be an advertisement, okay? Fill your head with the books of Little Man. Adult editions, volumes 1 through 12, and children's editions, volumes 1 through 3.
Oh my God.
How many books do they have by now?
They have like a shit ton of books, but I love the adult version.
Yeah, that was I don't know. I don't know.
Oh my God. Yeah, how many books do they have? And I'm sure a lot of them are just totally repetitive of the other. They just like slap a different cover on it. You know, charge a couple bucks, make you buy that one.
Well, we went through, the pricing of just that solution that's peaceful. And you'd spend damn near $1,000 for all the books and shipping.
Right. Or the one about stealing. How many books were there on that one? Like,
Oh, everything's about stealing.
And it took how many books just to say, do not steal?
A lot. Come on, every one of them. Every one of their books is don't steal because you're hurting someone else.
Oh, jeez.
You know what I mean? Anyway, we got a little bit of time left here.
What do you have?
I had somebody ask me about why I feel the need to bash Kenny. And see, I don't feel that I'm bashing him in Kenny's corner. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
In all honesty, I thought about this a while back. And I got to apologize to somebody that I really felt bad of offending and hurting, 20-some years ago. And I guess it's part of my therapy at this point because I get to say things that I know that man will hear. And he did a lot of bad things. And the only reason I even bring him up, Laura, is he was a totally different person before we went there. And the transformation that took place, over a 12-year period that continued even after I left the cult, to me is just intense of you, the person that you would trust with your life and everything in it suddenly becomes the person that wants to hurt you worse. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And damn it, he did everything he could to hurt me the worst he could. So I ain't out there bashing you, Ken. I'm telling the story of what you did. You know what I mean? Down to I can speak the truth, right? As long as it's truth and it can be proved. Right. Kenny makes a lot of money. He did. And you can't pay the cult all their tithes. You can't pay your child support, your taxes, and expect to live. There's nothing left. Right?
Right.
So, for 10 years, Laura, I took $400, which is basically $50 a child per week for child support, which is basically nothing.
Right. What are you going to buy with that?
With the threats up, because every, few years you get a paper that says, hey, you can ask us to audit and you may get a raise or you may get less, right? And of course, I didn't live in that town anymore, so the papers would always get to him first, and he'd always make sure to call me up and say, "Hey, I wouldn't contest this. Be happy with what you're getting because it'll suddenly be zero." Do you know how shitty that is? How do you do that to your kids?
To your kids, right?
Yeah,
because it has nothing to do with you.
No,
it's everything to do with your kid.
Yes, and I told my oldest the other day that I felt really guilty walking past the gumball machines the other day. Because all of the times they asked me for quarters for the gumball machines. And it was like, you have every dollar planned out with rent and food and daycare and sports. And, 25 and 50 cents might not seem like a lot, but it does. Do you know what I mean? And I apologized to him, and he said I didn't need to apologize because I made up for it in other ways and stuff, but... Kenny, you're a bastard for making your children suffer.
What?
Nothing.
Kenny's Corner. I thought you were looking like you had something else to say. I didn't want to interrupt you.
Anyway.
There's Kenny's Corner for the week.
I guess so. I don't know. It's just... It's not to bash, but it's frustrating.
But you lived it. You lived it, and nobody else knows what you went through but you. And if this is your way of healing...
Girl, at one time, he worked in a state above us, okay? And he snuck into the state we lived into once a month so that he could go to services and pay his tithes and shit, right?
Okay.
And for a good 9+ months, every weekend, every Friday that was his, and every other Wednesday or Thursday or whenever he had custody... We're supposed to. We would go and sit in the police department parking lot because it's under surveillance. They've got cameras. And we were required to wait an hour. And I would go in and ask the officer on duty to sign my notebook and date it that he didn't show up again. Okay?
How do you not show up when it's your turn to have the kids?
Because he wasn't in the state. He was working in another state.
Oh, God.
Which worked out to my benefit, okay?
Oh, for you it did, but I'm just saying in general. Oh.
But... if I didn't show up to get if I wouldn't have showed up to, he didn't found out that he probably had people watching to see if I was showing up or not.
And if you didn't, then all shit would hit the fan.
Right. Which at one point, get this. Kirsty's out of town, so he doesn't see the need to pay his child support because he's not seeing his kids. Oh, that's what he told me. Okay,
sure.
So I literally lived 9+ months without child support. How I did that year to this day, I have no idea. But yeah, he didn't come and get them, and he didn't pay. And now I forget where I'm going with this.
The police station.
Oh yeah, and that's how I ended up being able to leave. Because when he did come back to town, he tried to tell them that I kept him from his kids for 9 months, almost a year. And I actually got an attorney, and I was allowed to countersue. You know what I mean? And I sued for the ability to be able to leave that state.
Oh, good for you.
And I was actually, between me and my attorney, we were able to prove that for the past year, he was working out of state. And that nice notebook that I kept.
Yep.
Proved that he hadn't picked his kids up in 9.5, almost 10 months. So I will never forget the judge looking at him and going, basically, you really don't live here. Why do you expect your ex-wife to be stuck here? And I got granted the privilege to leave. Yeehaw me!
Nice.
Yeah, like I said, every time he tries to do something bad to me, it may take years, but it turns around and
bites in the ass.
And it has a better effect on me. Thanks for the box of darkness, dude. Every single freaking time. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I really hate to say this, but every person that you meet in life and every situation you go through, it's a learning experience. You come out learning something. I mean, as much as it hurts, as much as it sucks, as much loss, whatever, you better learn from it. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, there's always something to learn, good or bad or otherwise.
You would be correct. Anyway, I didn't even get into pending posts today. Do you know that?
I just post them.
I can do that. I can.
Just post them on Facebook.
Yeah, I guess I will. Either that or I'll save some of them for next week because some of them I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
So, somebody got a kick that, we tried to get Justin Bieber. Remember that? She actually posted a link of what church Justin belongs to or something. And he's their big, poster boy.
Oh, I'm sure.
Well, I'm sure every religion's got a couple celebrities. They were always looking for a dentist out where we were.
My one dentist that I used to go to, he
was in a cult?
No. He lives out where Christina Aguilera's from in Pittsburgh. So a couple times, like Christmas should come and she'd be like the guest singer,
Oh, right.
Which would actually be kind of cool.
I suppose. I'm not into her.
I'm not really either, but still, whether you like her or not, man, she got some good pipes on her.
I don't know. We all have talents.
A damn good singer.
We all have talents, and everybody should be celebrated for their talents, not just celebrities.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Agree.
But guys, anybody needs some help getting out of anywhere, need somebody to talk to, get a hold of me. I can help a couple people at least.
Bus ticket still.
Bus ticket. Sometimes a plane ticket is sometimes cheaper too. Just depends on who you fly with. You know what I mean?
That is true.
So, but you need actual ID to be able to travel those ways. So, my one friend couldn't get out of the cult because she had no ID. Isn't that sad?
It's so pathetic, yeah.
Well, they keep people as helpless as they can. And I have to get back to my one friend, but he wrote something that, it resounded with me, that a lot of people, a lot of his friends felt like he abandoned them when he left. And in all honesty, when you leave that place and he grew up there and he left his mom and his stepdad there. But when you leave, basically you're on a sinking ship and you really can't save anybody but yourself. And if you have kids, you're not going to leave them behind, but you can't help the people that are still entrenched in the cult, and you can't really keep in touch with them because then they're turning around and telling people that they're still talking to you, what you're doing. It's like everybody's in your business still. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So, I don't know. It's a wonderful Sunday.
It is.
You're going to take a picture of me. We're going to try and get 613 happy birthdays, likes, or something in a combination.
That's right.
I think Dan's got 95 at this point.
Okay.
So.
We'll get you to 613. And I got some extra tapes I got to listen to.
I'm just waiting for warmer weather, Laura.
I know.
In all honesty. And I guess anything I forgot will be added to next week's agenda. Mm-hmm. You actually called me today. I was quite surprised.
I know. I usually text. I hate talking on the phone.
I know.
I hate talking on the phone.
And I've been texting you, and it's funny because, we've just been doing the opposite for the other one.
I know. And I called you this morning.
I know. I was like, woo, Laura called. All right, guys. Send us your questions, whatnot, this, that, and the other thing.
Yep.
Please, please. Thank you. I really love reading the pending posts, and I can't believe I didn't get to that.
Yeah, we can do it next week.
We can do it next week.
All right. So,
anyway, it's been Deb.
And Laura.
And keep on keeping on till next week, guys. Bye.
Talk to you then. Bye.
Get the hell out.